such wonderful parents who are playing a strong role in bringing a generation as bright as we find in this room with us today. I think it's an amazing job that all of you are doing. I would also like to thank some very special members from the Max Life management team who've taken time out to be with us this afternoon. Mr. Rajesh Sood, our CEO and Managing Director. Thanks, Rajesh. Rajesh is a passionate believer and a supporter of the Hygienist initiative. Mr. Rajat Mehta, our Executive Director and Chief Operating Officer. And Ms. Anisha Motwani, she's just walking in there. So she's simply been the wind behind the sails of the ship of Hygienist as it's been traveling. I would also like to welcome some very special guests from the Max India family. We have with us Ms. Vibha Rishi Paul, who's the Executive Director, Brand and Human Capital at Max India. Thanks, Vibha, for being with us today. And before we begin the event, I know you're all waiting, but before we begin, let me spend a few minutes and tell you and share with you what really brings us here today. What has been the journey of Hygienist? So in the last 13 years that Max Life Insurance has been there in this country, we've built a fairly strong organization. Today, we have presence in over 1,200 cities across the country, and we have almost 31 lakh policies in force. In the financial year 2012-2013, the revenue of this organization grew to 6,600 crores, and today we have a sum insured in force, that's the total amount of protection this company represents, of 1,69,000 crores. So that's how proud the large Max Life family is. We were also recognized as a super brand for the year 2013-14. This company is driven by a vision to become India's most admired life insurance company by securing the financial future of its customers. We hope to and we strive to achieve that through the life insurance solutions that we design, as well as by programs such as Hygienist, which are designed to contribute to a better future for our children. And we have these children right here. This Hygienist initiative was launched back in 2010 with what is known as the Hygienist Scholarship Program. Hygienist scholarships seek to reward and recognize all-round talent in children. And since our launch in 2010, Max Life Insurance has given away almost 5,000 scholarships under the Hygienist initiative with a prize corpus of over 4 crores. That possibly makes it one of the largest corporate scholarship programs in the country today. And in these 3 or 4 years, the Hygienist initiative has seen participation from over 20 lakh children. So that's how large the spread is. Hygienist Young Authors Hunt, which all of you have been sort of party to, it is the second large initiative at Max Life under the Hygienist umbrella. This Young Authors Hunt was launched earlier this year as a nationwide hunt for the best young authors in the country today. The top stories were shortlisted by a jury comprising of Mr. Chetan Bhagat, Ruskin Bond, and the editorial team of Rupa Publications. Absolutely. And this jury has been an extremely involved and a passionate member and a supporter in this entire journey, right from program announcement to this day today. You see them with us today. Mr. Ruskin Bond, in fact, has been partnering the Hygienist initiative right from 2010. Thank you, Mr. Bond. Chetan, you need no introduction. Thank you. It's been a fabulous journey so far. And I would also like to acknowledge Mr. Kapish Mehra, Managing Director, Rupa Publications India. Kapish, thanks. And Ms. Sudeshna Shom Ghosh, who's the Executive Editor of Red Turtle, which is an imprint of Rupa Publications. Thanks, Sudeshna, for some fabulous support from your side. It's time now to acknowledge our very special guests, the winning children that we have today. So may I request all the winning children to kindly stand up and be applauded.
To be the best, number one and nothing less. Lead me to my destiny. I have waited patiently. I have vision, oh I believe. I know I can count on me. So stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up, stand up. For the champions, for the champions, stand up. For the champions, for the champions, stand up. Stand up, stand up.
please, children. With this, I leave you in the capable hands of my friends Vidhi and Deepak from 92.7 Big FM, who would be your Sutradhars for the day and would carry the event through. Vidhi, Deepak, over to you.
Thank you so much, Amit. Good morning, actually good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We're all here on a very special day. How are you all feeling today? I do not feel the energy. How are the kids feeling today?
I think for the children, we can all do some hippie parade. What say? So 1, 2, 3. Hip hip! Hip hip! Hip hip! And before we start the event, I would request all of you to kindly stand up for the national anthem. Thank you very much. You may please take your seats. Thank you so much.
So ladies and gentlemen and children, I am RJ Vidhi from 92.7 Big FM and this is RJ Deepak from 92.7 Big FM.
So every morning, Monday to Saturday, you can hear us on 92.7 Big FM, 7 to 10 in the morning.
So Big FM तो हर कोई सुनता है, गाने भी सबको अच्छे लगते हैं. गाने बच्चों को अच्छे लगते हैं? Do the kids enjoy the music? Whatever language it is? So we'll make you do the singing, but before we start the event, we'd like to welcome you all, first of all, to the iGenius, to the launch of iGenius, A Twist in the Tale. And we want to start the event with a little interactive session that we want to have with the kids. And of course, the big geniuses around with the little geniuses.
And for that, we would like to call upon first on stage Mr. Ruskin Bond.
छोटे से माइंड में बड़ी बड़ी बातें हैं, तारों की तरह हम भी जगमगाते हैं, नन्ही नन्ही आँखों में बड़े ख्वाब आते हैं, तभी तो हम छोटे जीनियस कहलाते हैं.
We'd also like to call upon stage Mr. Chetan Bhagat.
बड़ी बातें हैं, तारों की तरह हम भी जगमगाते हैं, नन्ही नन्ही आँखों में बड़े ख्वाब आते हैं, तभी तो हम छोटे जीनियस कहलाते हैं. हो 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 हो.
Mr. Rajesh Sood. Can we have you on stage, sir?
मुझसे पूछो सन से क्यों छिप जाते हो, क्या हाइड एंड सीक का गेम.
So, are you kids a big fan of Sir Ruskin Bond? Big fans of Chetan Bhagat? मैं आपके साथ हूँ. I am absolutely with you. I have grown up reading Ruskin Bond's books, and I love Chetan Bhagat ki books. I am a big fan. And I'm very happy that I'm sharing the stage with you here.
I'm so happy that you never said you grew up, reading Mr. Chetan Bhagat.
I
He's
did
so happy
grow up.
about that.
Maybe not in my height, but I did. So we want to have an interactive session with the children. So children, whatever questions you want to ask, Chetan Bhagat, Ruskin Bond, you can completely ask any question you want. So I'm going to join the kids.
Yeah, you know why I'm sending her there, because in case I come to you, you'll find like, out of the place feel karenge aap log. So somebody who's your height, whom you can connect to. So Vidhi is all for you.
I have a feeling the kids probably will be taller than me. I should have worn higher heels. So Chetan Bhagat ki books किस-किसने पढ़ी हैं? I mean, I'm sure you guys have all read his books. 5 Point Someone, 3 Mistakes of My Life, haven't you? So any questions? You want to ask something? Are you like a big fan? What goes through his mind when he's writing all these? Do you want to know that? So what goes through your mind? How are you writing such great books? That's amazing books.
Hi, how are you, everybody? Aren't you guys too young to be reading my books? That's the thought that is going through my mind right now. Or maybe the world has changed and, we are too old. So it's good only. I don't mind. Please read. But I'm just thinking my kids are 9 now and I'm just a little worried that soon they'll be reading my books. One day, in fact, I have one of my books, 2 States, which is somewhat based on my own life. And we've told them not to read my books, but then you tell kids not to do something, they want to do that. So one day, I come home and my kid says to me, "You did what to Mama in college?" I said, "That's just a story. And what have you been reading?" So, but when I'm writing those books, I don't think it's just trying to make sure I tell a story properly. And I mean, when I'm writing them, I'm not really thinking in terms of what other people are going to think. I try not to. I try to just make sure that whatever I'm writing for the day, it's something worth reading and it's going to work. One of the things readers of books don't realize is that the book is not written in one day. You often read it in 1 day or 2 days or maximum a week or so, but it's written over a year. So one of the challenges is you might be in some mood in January and some of the book is written in July and some of the book is written in November. But to the reader, he shouldn't feel that, the author went away for a while. So I think that keeping that continuity and making sure, getting into that world of that story again and again, that is often a challenge for me. Because I have to connect back to the characters and then get away like that.
So anyway, I raised my hands, Chetan, when they say are you fans of Chetan? So I have a question for you. That is, what's the next book that a film is made? And I have a vested interest in that because I was thinking that in case you keep me in mind and write something so that I can get a chance in Bollywood, what say? What kind of a movie would you, having a look at me, what kind of a movie would you like to make?
Well, I told them, aren't you too young to read? And I'm going to tell you, aren't you too old to be in Bollywood?
He takes over from here.
You can actually, because most of our top stars are 45 plus or 48.
So I always tell, when people ask my age, I always tell people मैं शाहरुख, आमिर और सलमान तीनों से छोटा हूँ. So that's one thing I take pride in.
That's a very good idea. We are all young then, right? And the next is 2 States only, which is coming in April, and the film. And I'm writing a new book now. My publisher is here, and he's been scolding me that I'm too slow. Kapish is here, so I promised him that it'll come out next year sometime. Sometime next year it'll come. So yeah, that's a new book next year and a movie next year. Yeah.
Great.
Actually, we're all young authors here, right? You're all young authors, है ना? Yes? थोड़ा जोश दिखाओ. You're all young authors? So you all took part in this iGenius Young Authors Hunt. Rajesh sir, we want to know what was this? Why did you take this initiative of a young authors hunt? I think it's a superb initiative, and writing completely should be promoted. What made you come up with it?
So I guess, first and foremost, a very good afternoon to all of you and a very special welcome to these talented kids. Speaking for the initiative, actually it's not a sporadic event. It's a journey that we've been on. And as you heard Amit say earlier, we as a company strongly believe in the cause of the promoting of talent. We've done that through our iGenius scholarships now for 3 consistent years. We'll, go forward with that. And again, talent is not confined to one sphere. It's not just sports, it's not just singing, it's not just, writing. We do want to celebrate every such talent that's there in all of us, in all of you. So this is really a part of a journey that we've been on. And the credit for this thought again goes to the entire team at Max Life and all our people who've supported us, including our 2 very, very illustrious authors. By the way, I'm also a fan of you guys, let me admit that too. I've grown up reading, Mr. Bond's books, and certainly I've read all of yours as well, Chetan. So this is just so integral part of our journey that I think it was just an idea waiting to happen, and we're rather glad that we could do this.
Mr. Rajesh, what happens, like sometimes we are reading a book and it gives a feeling like, shayad main bhi kuch likhta, agar main kuch likhta. So ever you thought that, one fine, you are a corporate honko, fine, but ever thought that I would write a book, I would be an author one day?
Very interesting. I must share this from my personal side of the journey. Yes, I wrote, I used to write. I have been, I would say, a curious student all my life. I continue to think of myself as a student. And even now, as you go up the corporate chain as well, half the time, and I have kids, by the way, who are about the same age as this. My daughter is 11, my son's 8. And a large part of the inspiration and the feeling that I have today for what we're doing actually comes from home itself, where working with them on their own project work, essays, writing, and more often than not, looking at how much talent is already in these kids, has been a part of my journey. Writing in corporate life is as important, I would say, as it is in our personal sphere. The reason I was relating to my kid story is one of the times we were out on a dinner event, somebody asked my son, what does your father do? He said, I don't know, रोज सुबह जाते हैं तैयार व्यार होके, जब मैं जाता हूं तो कंप्यूटर के आगे गेम्स खेल रहे होते हैं. All I know is that he speaks on the phone, he does some typing on the computer, and that's about all he does. He doesn't even, move from his chair. And I don't know why he's called the CEO. So writing is integral, I guess, to what we do.
So young authors here have a lot of questions. I've got Vrinda here who has a question.
Thank you. This is actually for Sir Ruskin Bond. One of my favorite stories written by you is A Room Full of Colors, and if anybody's ever read it, it's a completely wacko story. It is very random and amazing. So I would like to know, when you write these kind of stories, what triggers that train of thought? What makes you want to write a particular story?
Well, that's a very interesting question. And I think all my stories probably have their origins in interesting people. And over the years, and there have been many years of writing, whenever I've met a colorful character or someone who's had an interesting life, has something to say, they sort of stay in my mind, and I might not at that moment write about them. It could be many years later that I come to that story. And in the case of The Room of Many Colors, the story you mentioned, it goes back to my childhood in Jamnagar, which is now part of Gujarat. It was then part of the Kathiawar Peninsula. And it was almost a fairy tale childhood, and there was this princess, not a young princess, but an old lady who would tell me stories. And many years later, 30, 40 years later, I remembered her, and I wrote this story, which I'm so glad you enjoyed.
Thank you.
Mr. Bond, I have a question. So many kids out here, such a young age, they have written stories. So, what was your age when you probably wrote your first story, and what was it all about?
Well, I wrote my first story when I was in school. I think I was in class 8 or 9, but it was a funny story, and I had made one of my teachers the subject of the story. And my class master found it in my desk, and he he took it back to his rooms and read it and sent for me. And in those days you got punished, so I got a caning of 2 or 3 whacks with the cane, and I was told, "You're wasting your time, Bond." And he tore the story up and put it in his wastepaper basket. So that was the end of my first literary work. So when you write a story, be careful not to put your teachers in it. I think now teachers today actually encourage children to write. This wasn't always the case. And even, writing wasn't considered a very fashionable or desirable profession when I finished school. And I remember coming home after doing my 10th or 11th, and my mother asking me, "Well, what are you going to do now, Ruskin?" And I said, "I think I'm going to be a writer, Mom." She said, "Don't be silly. Go join the army." And if I joined the army, you would have had one more Beetle Bailey on the ranks.
Vrinda, you asked a wonderful question. You're a Ruskin Bond fan, and you get a prize. You get a Ruskin Bond book. Congratulations. We have the youngest author here. She's 9 years old. Her name is Yuka, right? And she's also, you love to write.
Yeah, I like to write.
And you have a lot of questions.
I have one question. Mr. Ruskin Bond, that's for you. I wanted to ask, are there any films based on your stories?
There have been 2 or 3, yes, going back to 1978-79, when the famous director Shah Benegal, he made a film called Junoon, which was based on a story of mine called A Flight of Pigeons. It was a historical narrative set in the time of the 1857 uprising, and based on true events. And he made a distinguished film. Later on, there was The Blue Umbrella, which Vishal Bhardwaj made. It was based on one of my children's books. And that book is one of my most popular ones. It's a short book for younger children. And recently, there was another film he made called Saat Khoon Maaf.
Thank you.
Thank you, Yuka. Very good question. And you also get a prize. Okay, how many kids have questions here? Raise your hands. Lots of kids, right? Okay, so I'm going to come to you guys one by one. Ishant has a question.
This in particular is for Ruskin Bond. You wrote a story in Crazy Times with Uncle Ken. It was about a mischievous ghost called the Pred. Did he even exist?
Did the ghost exist? Yes. Well, somebody asked me the other day if I believed in ghosts. And I said, no, I don't believe in them, but I keep seeing them. And sometimes even people are a bit spooky. To tell you the truth, I've been writing so many years, sometimes I run out of ideas, run out of characters, and I can always fall back on a ghost story and, cook up a ghost or two.
So that reminds me of a joke कि पुरानी हवेली में जाके किसी ने पूछा कि भाई साहब मैंने सुना यहाँ पर भूत रहते हैं कह रहे भाई साहब मुझे तो पता नहीं मुझे मरे तो 200 साल हो गए हैं. So it's like, similar.
Well, this great and grand hotel once had a reputation for being haunted. I hope they don't throw me out now for having said that.
This question is for Ruskin Bond. When I read your stories, I feel that as if I am a part of the story. How do you bring this effect?
I think maybe because I put myself into a story so much, and a lot of my own childhood is reflected in them, and sometimes young readers can identify with the Ruskin Bond in the story. I don't know if that is very clear or not, but it's something like that.
Thank you.
Good question. You get a prize. We have another question coming from there. Get up.
Good afternoon, sirs. I have a question for both of you all. if you all write so much, everyone who writes loves to read. So then, what are your favorite books? Chetan sir as well as Ruskin sir.
There's too many, It's actually, books are, it's difficult. But, I don't know. I think some books by this, I don't know if you guys have read Hemingway or Orwell or some of those writers, Charles Dickens, maybe many of you have read. Those kind of writers have had an impact on me. And I don't know if they're favorites, but those were the books I had read, and it really helped me shape my own thinking about if I want to be a writer or things like that. So I think they're very special to me. Yeah.
Before the next question is asked, I just want to tell everybody here, this event is live on Webcast. All that is happening here is being telecast live on www.igenius.org. So bring out your biggest smiles because everyone's watching you.
Good evening, sir. So I have a question for Ruskin Bond. So I read your book, Rusty Runs Away, and most of the books are basically your autobiographies. So do you find writing autobiographies easier?
I guess it is easier because, and especially as you get older, because then you have so much to look back on. So one of the advantages of getting old and of having many, many years behind you is that you have memories, provided you haven't got Alzheimer's. So there's so much to look back on, and so many people you've met, and things that have happened to you and to others. So you don't run out of ideas or stories or material. It's usually when it was more difficult for me when I was young and wrote my first book, because after that I said, now what do I put in the second book? Because I'd sort of written myself out in the first. So sometimes the second novel or the second book is the most difficult one. I don't know if Chetan agrees or not.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, I agree. But like he said, you need to have had quite a few things happen in your life to keep on writing autobiographical stuff. You can't write about brushing your teeth, unless you had a magic brush or something, which I didn't have. So, yeah.
We've got Pranish here. He's 15. He's taller than me. And he has a question.
This one is for Chetan sir. So in the epilogue of Two States, the day your kids were born, you told your wife that your book was rejected again. And now you're here. So sir, how do you feel from book being rejected and now you're one of the biggest authors of India?
Oh, it just coincided, Actually, my kids were born around 2 months after 5.1 came out. They were born in 2004. My first book came out in 2004. So when I see my kids, they're 9 now. And it's the same. My author age is same. And Ruskin sir's author age is same as mine. Because he started writing around 39 years ago or something. So, yeah. And mine is 9. So, I don't know. It just feels a little unreal. But at the same time, I'm very happy about it. To get recognized so much. But at the same time, it's something not... It doesn't fundamentally affect me so much anymore. The fact... I want to now do good work. I want to now do good stories. I'm very secure about the readership now. Now I just want to do a few more really good stories that are a little different from my previous books. And I think I also want to use my fame to help the country somehow. So I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I write a lot of columns. I come a lot on talking about politics and national issues. So I feel my country has been very good to me. So I should give back something. That's what I feel. Yeah.
And Pranish, you get a prize. Okay, so we've got a lot of questions. Now I have a question for the kids here. Can I ask you guys a question? Can I ask you all a question? This one girl saying, no, don't ask me a question. No, it's not a quiz. You guys must have faced the fog today, right? It was really foggy in the morning, really cold in the morning. So you're all young authors. If you had to describe the fog in a different way, how would you do that? Yes.
When we were traveling in the bus, so there was sun, and my mom said, is that moon? I was like, no mom, it's sun. So when the clouds drifted apart, she could see the sun clearly. So that was a bit comedy sort of thing.
See, that's the magic of writing, right? You can write a lot of things in a different way, simple things in a different way. Any other way you want to describe the fog that you faced in the morning today? Yes.
So whenever it's foggy in the winter in Delhi, all of my friends and I say that we're kind of living in a hill station and a cloud palace together. So yesterday, as a joke, my friend just jumped up to me in school and she said, "We're living in a palace in the clouds." So yeah.
So we are in a palace of clouds today itself. Okay, so you have more ways to describe the fog, or you have more questions? So, okay.
When I was driving through the fog on Saturday when I went to Agra, I felt like, oh, the
You drove
Dementors are
yourself.
out again.
What's your age?
No, I didn't drive. I
Okay.
was in the car.
Okay.
So I kind of felt like, oh, the Dementors are out from Harry Potter. So that was nice, but I felt happy. So I was wondering maybe they're not working on me. Yeah.
I was just too sleepy and I slept right through it. That is how I would say.
Yeah, I can, if you permit me, I was driving around 30 minutes in and around the hotel because I've been here in the city and I know where exactly this hotel is, but because of the fog, I couldn't actually locate. Now that she's mentioned Harry Potter, I really wish that I also had that broom. I just whispered in its ear and I would have reached here. So, yeah.
Yeah, I have a question. The first thing is to Mr. Ruskin Bond. You actually include a lot of animals in your stories, and that's something I really enjoy. Do you have any pets that still?
Do I have any pets?
Yeah.
Over the years, there have been various kinds of animals in the house, and including a mouse that was very friendly. But then my neighbors kept a cat, and the mouse had to had to leave. Talking about the fog and descriptions of it. This morning I was talking to Chetan, and after some time, I didn't realize he wasn't standing there, and I was talking to a tree actually outside. So that's what the fog did to me.
I have a question to both of you. What do you think about including poetry in your writing, like in a story?
Publishers don't like poetry, I've realized over the years. And they have, in fact, strong prejudice against poetry. Basically because it's very hard to sell books of poems. And that's happened, even my books of poems move very slowly. But poetry is something that I enjoy writing from time to time. And I think if poetry gives you pleasure, by all means write poetry, write your heart out. And you'll find some people who will enjoy it.
Thank you. And I'm very happy that I'm here, Young Authors Hunt. I wish it happened when I was young, not so young now. But Rajesh ji, I want to ask you, will you organize the Young Authors Hunt again next year? Will it happen again?
And it has to be based on the height, not on the age.
I'd like that.
Absolutely. Looking at the response, and I must say, we've certainly been overwhelmed by what we've seen as the response to this first edition. So we are very encouraged to actually follow this through. And in our discussions, everybody who's been a supporter of this program thinks it's a good idea. So yes, we will do it again.
We have a lot of questions, but I have time for just 2 more questions. Can I take 2 more questions? Okay, 1 question there. The parents have questions too? Not so young authors? So I'll come to you, ma'am, but we have a question there.
The writings of Charles Dickens. So, which character of Charles Dickens would you best relate to?
I am not living like that, but Oliver Twist, that was a textbook actually. That was the first Dickens book I read, and that was a textbook, and I think that it just really shook me up, There are orphans and how they stay. It was just alive. I probably had never heard of orphanages before and this, that. And I still, when I think about that book, it really, I remember they used to get one piece of bread a day and that old Fagin and things like that. So I think it's a classic book, and yeah, that one.
Thank you, sir. That's a very good question. And
So as
thank
far as
you.
as just one simple announcement, as far as the parents' questions are concerned, so at the end of the program, parents will get an opportunity to speak to our esteemed guests.
Yeah, so don't worry. Save your questions. So there's one girl who's very excited. One very excited girl who has a question. She's been telling me for the past 10 minutes I have a question. So.
My question's actually for Chetan, sir. I met you yesterday at the How It Went, the girl in the car. Yes, sir. From 5 Point Someone to What Young India Wants, what has your experience been, and how has the writing sort of inspired you to become a better person? And also comparing Revolution 2020 and What Young India Wants, what do you think is the better genre that people like to read or get influenced by?
Okay, that's a very mature question. I'm really scared what is happening to this generation. I'm just so happy I was born before you guys. Because my time is going to be done when you super smart kids come and take over the world, and we will be all relaxing. But it's changed me a lot. I mean, when I wrote my first book, it was with no expectations. Nobody knew it's going to sell well, and then book after book continuing to it. So what I wanted out of my writing changed. Maybe initially it was in me that I have to prove, I have to get the bestseller list, I have to get this. It's still important, but it's not the only important thing. Like I told you, I started doing things apart from writing stories, which is doing things for the country. Tried films also. So, and I left my job. So it's totally transformed me and my life, because I was a banker, I was living in Hong Kong. And I think it has made me a better person in many ways, because also, I don't know if it's writing or if it's age, because I was a lot angrier and I was a lot impatient, and I think writing has at least given me a chance to just let out some of my demons and let out some of the things I just may have felt very strongly about, and just expressed it. For example, when I got married, my wife was Tamilian, I was Punjabi, and I was very surprised as to the hostility that was coming because of that. So that came out, in a story. So it just made me a little more calmer. But in some ways, I think it has made me a worse person, because I don't have as much time anymore, because I'm doing other things, and some of my older friends, which I used to be very close to, I'm still, I know them, and I'm in touch with them, but not as much as, it's become a little less time for family. So sometimes it's not easy. I mean, all of us want to be successful, but it's not all pros. There are some cons also of success. A lot of people, you have to, work hard to maintain. So it's all these things that are there. But I think overall it has made me a much better person. I'm a lot more patient today. I don't get worked up. I can handle criticism better than most people, because I've been criticized so much. So you get used to it. So I think those kind of things really, and I'm happy, because most people, it's not just me, most people cannot handle criticism. And but I can handle it better than others. So that is a big plus.
Sir, since you mentioned your job, I read in What Young India Wants that you've done your IIT, then IIM, then you went to Singapore for your banking, and then you came back to start writing. What was the big change that brought that about, that after studying so much and after having a decent life out there, you still came back to give something back to your country?
I mean, the coming back happened later. I started writing first, and I came back when the writing became quite popular. But I started writing because I just felt it's not a complete life, and I think the middle class India focuses a lot on the child's progress in their career or academics. But that's not what it is to be a human being. Art, very broadly speaking, art has to be a part of your life. Whether it's music, dance, whatever your expression, whether you're a spectator or whether you're a, somebody who performs, you have to have art in your life. And I was working in a job which paid very well and very high profile, very, I don't know, glamorous, but very, very sought after jobs in these banks, international banking jobs. But it was incomplete. There was something hollow about it. And for me, writing was my art form. So I went to it to just balance out in my life what banking took out of me, just to bring it back. I didn't know it will do so well. And once it started, and then it gradually went on to one by one other things. So I would tell everybody here that don't focus on the competition, you know. I mean, it is a competition. It has to be designed that way to make it interesting. But it's not about that. It's not the first prize, second prize, third prize. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you liked writing the story and somebody else liked it also. That is why you are here. And that's what should matter most. You shouldn't turn this also into a, you know, a race for marks, and he came first and I came second, and you know, then this is not that. This is the author hunt. This is about art, and this is a search of an artist. And you guys are all artists today, and artists are not athletes. They don't do first, second, third, you know. They just express.
Thank you so much. One more question, just one more. Pratyush, emotional कर दिया उसने मुझे. वो बोल रहा है कि 3 साल, he's been waiting for 3 years to ask this question. Ruskin Bond, he wants to ask you, if not a writer, तो आप क्या होते? What would you be doing if not a writer?
We have to end on a funny note, I guess. If I hadn't been a writer, maybe a sumo wrestler. Or, well, earlier on I wanted to be a tap dancer. But I think as time passed by, I thought sumo wrestling would be better.
Mr. Bond, I have one last question for this session. That is, like, you know, I was in Missouri a couple of years back, and there was a bookstore where you were supposed to be around the noon. So times have changed, and when the writers used to be, they would not even use their names, they would use pen names, and our experience is totally changed when you have your readers sitting in front of you and, you know, giving you the expression of your writings right here, right now in front of you. So how do you relate to this change?
Yes, you're absolutely right. Times have changed, and writers have become public figures. Here we are meeting our readers and meeting other young writers. And 20, 30, 40 years ago, a writer was anonymous, you know. Even if he was very successful or famous, he was known by his name and by his books. But you could have bumped into him in the street, or you wouldn't have recognized him. And I remember this happened to me when I was in London in my 20s, and I'd gone to the BBC to record a small talk, and somebody else was sitting there also waiting to give a talk, and we exchanged courtesies and chatted a bit. And he got up and went away, and my producer said, "Well, do you know who that was?" I said, "No." He said, "That was Graham Greene." So there was one of the most famous writers of the day, and I didn't know who he was until someone told me. So writing, and now it's you know, here only this morning Chetan was telling me, when are we going to find time to write? Because there's a every week there's a new literary festival. Every town, every city has got to have a literary festival, and our publishers tell us you must go and attend these festivals. And we come back from the festival, and then the publisher says, "When's your book going to be ready?" So I'm not sure if sometimes I think the days when you were anonymous were in some ways better.
So with this, I would like to thank all the kids who had their questions raised, and सवाल पूछने चाहिए, बहुत जरूरी है सवाल, and I'd like to thank Mr. Ruskin Bond, Mr. Chetan Bhagat, and Mr. Rajesh Sood for being here on the stage. Please, if you can just kindly take your seats. Thank you so much. Can we have a big round of applause for all of them?
Moon se pucho पीछे क्यों छिप जाते हो? क्या हाइड एंड सीक का गेम खेलते हो? छोटी बोतल में कैसे बड़ा जिन रहे? उसके बिगड़ों की विश कौन पूरी करे? अंधेरी रातों में जुगनू टिमटिमाते हैं, क्या ये दिन भर अपनी बैटरी चार्जिंग?
So today, as you all know, is a very special day. So there's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be a lot of masti. So right now, the next sound, the next voice that you will be hearing is the voice of Kalpana ji, who's standing right there. Say hi, Kalpana. Hi, Kalpana.
Hi.
The kids are supposed to say hi, Kalpana. Thank
Hello,
you.
kids.
So
They sound
Kalpana is
very
here.
adult, but
So Kalpana is here from Parikrama Humanity Foundation, an NGO based in Bangalore. She's got something very special for you, and there are a lot of kids coming in to perform something special for you. So let's have a big round of applause for Kalpana, please.
thank you, Vijay. Good afternoon, everyone. We are from Parikrama Humanity Foundation, an NGO that works out of Bangalore. We run 4 ICSE schools and 1 junior college, that's grade 11 and 12, for 1,576 students that come from underprivileged backgrounds. We at Parikrama believe that the world is not made of engineers and doctors. It takes all kinds, and we love to tell a story. In fact, we believe life is a story itself and to be celebrated all the time. We love to make a song and dance about it. And since our motto is love, explore and excel, we're going to show you a very, very beautiful story written by Riddhi. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the students of Parikrama Humanity Foundation, Bangalore. This is the tale of a girl called Riddhi, who lived in the beautiful and historic city of Jhansi. Waking up early was oh such a pain. Come sunshine, shivering cold, or even torrential rain. Time stands still for no man, woman, or girl. Each day is such a mindless world. No time to stand and enjoy some leisure. All you have is just endless pressure.
What's that? I hear something. Oh, maybe from my bedside table. Ah! Oh, it's definitely from my bedside table. Stop that, you noisy clock. You've been ringing for 15 minutes. 15 minutes? Oh God, I'm late. I'm late. I'm not a morning person and I have to get ready for school. I have a margin of just 25 minutes. 25 minutes? Where are my socks? Oh no! My books! Where have I kept them? Oh, there they are. Yeah, my socks. My sweater. And finally, my school bag. Every time I'll be late, and this is the 5th time in a row. I need to run. Let's come on, my friends. Now it's time to race.
Riddhi, what's happening? You're going to knock me down one day. Can't you wake up early?
No, Mom. Please don't say anything.
Riddhi, you should realize what a pain you're becoming, Riddhi. This is the 3rd time. We'll be embarrassed by your principal again.
Then kick me out of the house now. Huh?
Did you hear that? What's happening to children these days? हमारे ज़माने में ऐसा नहीं था.
Oh, why was I so rude to her? I know my words must have hurt her. They always do. But mother doesn't keep grudges. She moves on pretty fast. Had it been any other parent, I would have surely been grounded the whole year. Now, let me prepare myself for my teacher's wrath.
Classwork, homework, tuition and test. Beta only mama, papa and teacher know best. Riddhi fumed and fretted and fumed. Opened the door, only to be almost entombed.
What is this? It looks similar to the scene of the rabbit hole in Alice in Wonderland. But this is not at all a hole. It's a long, dark tunnel. And where is my home? My mother has also disappeared. Mama, I have no way out. I have to step in this dark tunnel.
The tunnel was dark. It was lonely and cold. Riddhi felt frightened, no longer bold. Her legs trembled as she struggled to walk and to keep herself company. Poor Riddhi, to herself she did talk.
Ah, my legs are aching. Enough! This tunnel seems endless. I've been walking for so long. I see a tiny point of light at the end. Let me run.
Lo, behold, what did Riddhi see? Strange but beautiful, many a stately tree. Each one glowed in a different color and seemed to emit some strange, mysterious power.
Have you ever seen such a place? I mean, the trees are colorful. They are red, purple, blue and yellow. Wow. But am I the only person over here? Hello? Anybody there? Hello? मैं रिद्धि बोल रही हूँ. Hello? Dancing
Open Gangnam Style. Gangnam Style. 낮에는 따사로운 인간적인 여자. 커피 한 잔에 여유를 아는 품격 있는 여자. 밤이 오면 심장이 뜨거워지는 여자. 그런 반전 있는 여자. 너는 선어해. 낮에는 너만큼 따사로운 그런 선어해. 커피 식기도 전에 원샷 때리는 선어해. 밤이 오면 심장이 터져버리는 선어해. 그런 선어해. 아름다워 사랑스러워 그래 너 그래 바로 너 아름다워 사랑스러워 그래 너 그래 바로 너 지금부터 갈 때까지 가볼까 오빤 강남스타일 강남스타일 오빤 강남스타일 강남스타일 오빤 강남스타일
No, 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 don't move, don't move. Just groove, just groove, just groove, just groove. No, 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 don't move, just groove, in Mr. Donut's dream world.
What? Mr. Donut's dream world?
This is Mr. Donut's dream world. Whatever he dreams of comes here. Whatever he dreams of comes here.
Here, huh? This doesn't make any sense.
It never will.
I want to go back home.
You can. We're all stuck here. You can.
But I can't stay here.
Of course you can. Come with us. Mr. Donut would love to see his creation.
Mr. Donut's creation? Is this all really happening? All I can do now is follow these creepy, crazy rabbits. I just cannot make sense of what is happening to me.
For long did the rabbits hop and hop and hop and hop and hop. It seemed to Riddhi, like Duracell, that never would stop, stop, stop and stop and stop. But when they finally did, she was stunned to see that Mr. Donut was a real dandy.
Rajini style. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Hello, my dear. I'm your friendly neighborhood donut man.
And I am your unfriendly neighborhood girl. I don't want to shake your hand. I want to go back home.
Oh, you're a rude little girl.
Mother also must be feeling bad when I behave so rudely. I want to go back to her. I miss Mom. Mama.
But you have just come here, child. This world is so much better than your world.
How did you come to know what I was thinking?
That doesn't matter. Tell me, were you totally happy when you were back home?
Well,
Didn't you find life boring and repetitive?
Yes.
You had all the things that you didn't like to face on a daily basis.
What do you mean?
What I mean is that give it a try.
Try what?
My world. My world is a happy place. Here there are no worries, no problems, and no regret.
This is amazing! He can read my mind. I do want to be in a place where there are no problems and no regrets.
No school, only fun. Dinka chika, 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 No studies, only parties.
You know, I love to dance. Disco divane. Aha. Aha. Disco divane. Aha. Aha.
The cherry on a pie, no teacher.
This world is amazing. I want to be in this world.
But one thing you must not forget. There are some things that you not have to face on a daily basis.
And what are those things? And why does my head start spinning when I try to think of something?
No. Don't worry about that now. Just enjoy my world. Here, take a look at these things. My creations.
Mr. Donut's world was great, no doubt. It had all the fun things that a girl could dream about. A cool cat, a cool big lion that could talk. Only, instead of a mighty roar, he had the feathers of a peacock.
am a talking lion. But I am dressed in peacock's feathers.
And as if that wonderful sight was not enough, out came lovely dolphins that went plip-plop, plip-plop. And instead of floating, they did fly and blew wonderful big bubbles into the blue, blue sky. And the visual delights did continue. Then came mermaids, not one, but two, half fish and half woman, dancing in waters blue, making beautiful music as timeless time just flew. More treats were lined up for her, the sight of which made her mouth water. Wasn't it just lovely that you could sleep even while you ate in a house made of mouth-watering, rich, creamy chocolate?
Kiss me, close your eyes, miss me. Close your eyes and kiss me. I can read your lips on your fingertips, and happiness in your eyes. Kiss me.
And after chocolates, now came giant sparkling diamonds that blinded the eye. From them, myriad glittering sparks did fly, each diamond carefully crafted in the womb of Mother Earth, twinkling with fire and brimming with mirth.
Diamonds are forever, forever, forever. Diamonds are forever, 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 forever.
Next came mountains of mouth-watering cakes, oozing rich cream and swimming in deep butter lakes, topped with peaks of snowy white icing, studded with gems and lip-smacking candy frosting. Riddhi realized that there were so many things that were unreal here. Some that she was in awe of, and some that she did hold in fear. Rabbits were normal creatures in the strange, crazy world. But she missed people that she knew, familiar voices that she every day heard.
So this is how it works. Mr. Donut dreams of something and the next day it will be a part of his world. I'm dreaming. I want a human in my dream world. The true little girl. What's her name? Radhi. No. Reddy. No. Riddhi. Mr. Donut told me that dreaming a human was very difficult for him for some unknown reason, and therefore I am a treasure for him. But he told me not to worry about something. And why does my head start spinning every time? It seems as though something is meddling with my head. And I can't even ask help from any of these creatures because they are imaginary creatures. What to do?
Riddhi had had enough of the fancy creatures and the funny ones that she knew. She wanted to be back with her loved ones and in her own house too. Into Mr. Donut's lavish house and straight into his office she marched. He looked at her with his eyebrows arched.
And what are you doing to me? What's happening, Riddhi? You're meddling with my brain and I cannot think straight. Rabbit, serious? Your brain? Do you have one? What's wrong with you, Riddhi? Whenever I think about my home, my people, my mom, and my life, I feel as though I've lost them forever. But you shouldn't even think of your past life, Riddhi. This one is so much beautiful that your past life was a total waste. No! Your world is a total waste. No! Don't say that. That hurts.
Mr. Donut looked at her with great sorrow in his eyes. He no longer felt happy, smart, fashionable, or wise. About her mother, Riddhi did fret. Her own harsh words to her, she now did regret.
Mr. Donut, you have to understand, this world might be an escape from all those things I tried to hide from my daily life. But I don't want them gone forever. Maybe I want to have regrets. I want to make up to all those people I've hurt, or at least tell them sorry. You cannot keep me here. You have to send me back. Our lives can be so much better if for once we stop being selfish and start to live for others instead of ourselves.
Realization dawned on Mr. Donut's face. He had been selfish, spiriting away people from the human race. He had dreamed creatures into his world and controlled their life. All because he did not want to remember his own loneliness and his strife.
Rabbits, bring out a bucket for my tears. Riddhi,
serious? Did he really say you can go back home? Yes, he did. Then maybe we are all going back home. The only way you can go back home is by destroying this dream world. And it can only be destroyed when Mr. Donut goes into another world, the great beyond. Ah! What is happening to me? Linda, what is happening to you? Ah! I think I know what's happening. Goodbye, Mr. Donut. I will pray for you. I know that you were a good man inside. Goodbye, Linda. Goodbye, Dream World. Goodbye, Chocolate House. Goodbye, colorful trees. Goodbye.
We hope you enjoyed this performance, ladies and gentlemen, from our kids from Parikrama Humanity Foundation. We'd like to end this show with a song that was composed in-house at Parikrama, and we've recorded this song with Vasundhara Das.
Light of my life keeps me shining, shows me the way, keeps me drying, helps me wipe my tears and wear a smile. I know the fire inside keeps burning. The road is long and I'm raring to go. It's just a song, one of many I know. Really wanna sing and hear you sing with me. Let's come together and make a difference. Take my hand and change your world around. I have dreams that make me soar above the ground, and I do believe they will come true for me. I'm sure on a beautiful day. Goodbye night, hello morning, another beautiful day is dawning. Goodbye darkness, hello light, another ray of hope shines bright. Make my day just from knowing you show me the way, so I'll keep growing, I'll keep growing, I'll keep growing. Take my hand and change your world around. I have dreams that make me soar above the ground, and I do believe they will come true for me. I'm sure on a beautiful day. Goodbye night, hello morning, another beautiful day is dawning. Goodbye darkness, hello light, another ray of hope shines bright. Makes my day just from knowing you show me the way, so I'll keep growing, I'll keep growing, I'll keep growing. Take my hand and change your world around. I have dreams that make me soar above the ground, and I do believe they will come true for me. I'm sure on a beautiful day.
Allow us to introduce ourselves.
Come on, friends. I am Akash the rabbit.
I'm Divya the mermaid.
I'm
Anusha, the mermaid, as well as Kate.
I am Sandeep, I was the talking lion.
I am Suman. I was the dolphin and the chocolate cake.
I am Akshita, the rabbit. I am Monica, the Linda rabbit.
I am Lohit, the rabbit.
I am Shekhar, the dolphin.
She is Lahari and she was Riddhi. He is Chalapati and he was Donut Man. And together we are Parikrama Humanity Foundation.
We'd like you kids to stay on stage.
बच्चा लोग अभी इधर ही स्टेज पे रहेंगे और इस तरह की परफॉर्मेंस के दो फायदे होते हैं. एक तो बच्चों का टैलेंट जो है वो निकल के सामने आता है. दूसरा, जितने लोग झपकी ले रहे होते हैं उनकी आंख खुल जाती है. Wasn't that a stunning performance, wasn't it?
Absolutely fantastic. Kalpana Singh, please come on stage. I'd also like to invite Mr. Ashish Vora, Senior Director and Chief Distribution Officer, Max Life Insurance, to come on stage and hand over a special book hamper to the children from Parikrama Foundation.
पूछो सन से क्यों छिप जाते हो, क्या हाइड एंड सीक का गेम खेलते हो, छोटी बोतल में कैसे बड़ा जिन रहे, उसके बिग रूम की विश कौन पूरी करे, अंधेरी रातों में जुगनू टिमटिमाते हैं, क्या ये दिन भर अपनी बैटरी चार्जिंग करते, छोटे से माइंड में बड़ी बड़ी बातें हैं, तारों की तरह हम भी जगमगाते हैं, नन्ही नन्ही आँखों में बड़े ख्वाब आते हैं, तभी तो हम छोटे जीनियस कहलाते हैं.
Thank you so much again. Thank you.
इससे पहले कि आप लोग भूल चुके हैं, एक बार फिर से याद दिला दूं. मेरा नाम है दीपक, मेरे साथ विधि है 92.7 बिग एफएम से. वैसे भी आदत पड़ी हुई है, हर ब्रेक के बाद जब भी आते हैं अपना नाम बताते हैं. Can't help.
Says enough. We'd like to thank everyone here for giving us this opportunity. I believe Parikrama is blessed both to be part of Parikrama as a child as well as an adult. And it's a great honor, Ruskin Bond sir, Mr. Chetan Bhagat, everyone. I think it's a great honor for all our children. This is a moment that they'll remember all their lives. Thank you very much, Delhi, for having us over here. And we hope you enjoy the performance as much as we enjoyed performing for you. Thank you. And thank you, Max. Without you, this wouldn't have been possible.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Kalpana ji. We'd like to invite Mr. Rajesh Sood on stage, please. CEO and Managing Editor, Max Life Insurance.
Hi, good afternoon again. Can I have the mic, please? Well, what can I say after this performance? It is just awesome, wasn't it? That's how you say it? Awesome? Yeah? Let's hear a round of applause again for these wonderful kids. Well, I just want to express a few of our thoughts and feelings, and I hopefully will not be long, because this is truly the kids' day. This story was actually an enactment of one of the kids' story. So you pretty much have got a first-hand view of what talent exists in this room. I must say that I'm more than impressed with the imagination, the kind of creativity, and also the prose that came along. It's just, again, mind-blowing. And maybe it's a lesson for all of us to not underestimate the potential that exists in the country, in our homes, everywhere that we see. There's a lot of negative feelings that we all kind of come across, especially in adult talk. But to me, the best part about being with kids is that it's so refreshing. It's so rejuvenating. Their world is such a world of make-believe, and they haven't heard of the word impossible. And I think that's really what makes them so special and something that all of us can learn from. Back to what we are here to do. I guess stories have been around for times immemorial. Even before they were written, they were spoken. They were passed on from grandmothers and generations and beyond. And we're just delighted to have kind of moved along this movement by doing something as unique and as special as what we all gathered here to do. For us, this is what we've aptly titled a twist in the tail, because when we went around looking for ideas to promote talent, one of the things we found was, while there are lots of books that we all read, and all of us have, but there are almost no books that promote kids writing, young children writing. And that's again, I would say, a gap, something that we hope to kind of close by this initiation. And this therefore makes this very, very special. A book by kids for kids is the first of its kind that we will be shortly unveiling in front of you. And we are more than, again, delighted to have had the participation that we did. When we launched, we didn't know and we didn't expect as much, but 55,000 kids actually registered, 55,000 all across the country. Give them a round of applause, absolutely. The process was kept very, very, if I may say, credible, and I must thank Ruskin Bond and Chetan Bhagat, who again lent us a lot of their time and certainly, of course, their evaluation, along with our publishers, Rupa, who came forward, and I think they all deserve a round of applause for the wonderful job they've done for us. And this went through a couple of rounds, first of just, giving an online submission, which had a certain word limit, which I'm sure all of you are familiar with. A second round that, again, you all know was conducted, with the juries. And beyond that now to a point where I think we are ready to unveil the book and really celebrate this wonderful moment. For us at Max Life, there are two purposes that are very dear to us. One is pretty much embedded in who we are and what we do. We are a life insurance company, and in many ways, therefore, we celebrate life and we celebrate dreams. We want to make sure that every parent's dream for their kids is fulfilled. And I know how kind of strong that emotion is, particularly in our country. The reference was made earlier as to how much does middle class India actually go through to ensure that kids get educated, kids get an opportunity to showcase talent. And we are just again delighted to be part of that movement. We are quite driven ourselves to provide financial security to India. And that's really what our big purpose in life is. While yes, we're a commercial organization, but I think we have a very strong human side to it as well. And I hope all of you can relate to some of that as we do events like this. So, to our mind, this is again a part of that journey of providing financial security, making dreams come true, and that's what we do through our products and also through events like this. The second part of this really is sheer promoting of talent. Like I said, I can't possibly stop talking about it, but you've seen it for yourself, you've participated in it, and I must especially thank the parents as well. I know how much it takes as a parent too to kind of juggle between the demands of your regular routine along with making time for kids. So to all of you here today and for many more who are not here, I'd like to give you a round of applause as well. It's fantastic. It's great. We are certainly more than happy to partner you in this journey. And we wish that each one of you takes this movement forward as well. There are some thoughts that some of my colleagues will express to you by the end of this event, where we think this ought not to be a one-off event that we do just among some of us, but that this has to be celebrated and succeeded and kind of taken to every town that you come from. There's a need for you to actually do more with this book and events like this. And I often say this, it's my personal belief, it's what I kind of have grown up to again come to understand now, is that, we often look out to somebody else, and we're hoping that either the political class or the bureaucracy or somebody else in our own offices, in our own societies, in our own little spheres will make a change. My request to all of you is to actually be the change yourself. Start yourself, encourage your kids, encourage kids in your neighborhood, take up teaching if you wish to in your spare time. If you're moved about the fact that only a few of us are able to afford that to kids who are such a bright and integral part of our future. So give India a little bit more. And that's pretty much the slogan that we've cut for ourselves. We talk about save and secure, give India more. And I hope you can join the movement and be a part of this journey. Thank you very much for being here today. I'm delighted to be having hosted this, and there's more to come. So keep glued in. Thank you very much.
Chakaraka chichacho chakaloram gando wando lakarakatam akko takko idigidigidigo idipai vidipai chikichakacho giligilimal sulusulumal makanaka hukubukure tukubukure chakalaka bikko chikko silisiligo bagradum chikichakacho. देखो देखो क्या वो पेड़ है चादर ओढ़े या खड़ा कोई बारिश है या आसमान ने छोड़ दिए हैं नल खुले कहीं हो हम जैसे देखे ये जहां है वैसा ही जैसी नजर अपनी खुल के सोचे आओ पंख जरा फैलाओ रंग नए बिखराओ चलो 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 नए ख्वाब बुने मस्ती में डोले मस्ती में
छोटे से मायने बड़ी बड़ी बातें हैं तारों की तरह हम भी जगमगाते हैं नन्ही नन्ही आँखों में बड़े ख्वाब आते हैं तभी तो हम छोटे जीनियस कहलाते हैं
खोलो खोलो दरवाजे पर्दे करो किनारे खूंटे से बंधी है हवा मिल के छुड़ाओ सारे आ जाओ पतंग लेके अपने ही रंग लेके आसमां का शामियाना आज हमें है सजाना तुझ में अगर प्यास है बारिश का घर भी पास है रोके तुझे कोई क्यों भला संग संग तेरे आकाश है धूप धूप है शम्स दिखा तू है नदी खबर बह चल कहीं उड़ चल कहीं दिल खुश जहां तेरी तो मंजिल है वही खुल गया आसमां का रास्ता देखो खुल गया मिल गया खो गया था जो सितारा मिल गया रोशन हुई सारी ज़मीन जगमग हुआ सारा जहां उड़ने को तू आजाद है बंधन को ही अब है कहाँ धूप है शम्स दिखा तू है नदी खबर बह चल कहीं उड़ चल कहीं दिल खुश जहां तेरी तो मंजिल है वही क्यों इस कदर हैरान तू मौसम का है मेहमान
like to call upon stage Mr. Rajesh Sood, Mr. Chetan Bhagat, Mr. Ruskin Bond. Can we
Anisha
please have you on
Motwani,
stage?
Kapish Mehra, please come on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, I Genius, a twist in the tail. We'd also like to call the 50 grand first winners in alphabetical order, please.
जगमगाते हैं नन्ही नन्ही आँखों में बड़े ख्वाब आते हैं तभी तो हम छोटे जीनियस कहलाते हैं छोटे से माइंड में बड़ी बड़ी बातें हैं तारों की तरह हम भी जगमगाते हैं नन्ही नन्ही आँखों में बड़े ख्वाब आते हैं तभी तो हम छोटे जीनियस कहलाते हैं हो 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 पूछो सन से क्यों छिप जाते हो क्या हाइड एंड सीक का गेम खेलते हो छोटी बोतल में कैसे बड़ा जिन रहे उसके बिग रूम की विश कौन पूरी करे अंधेरी रातों में जुगनू टिमटिमाते हैं क्या ये दिन भर अपनी बैटरी चार्जिंग पे लगाते हैं छोटे से माइंड में बड़ी बड़ी बातें हैं तारों की तरह हम भी जगमगाते हैं
Hi genius, a twist in the tail.
ख्वाब आते हैं तभी तो हम छोटे जीनियस कहलाते हैं
So now on stage our 51st grand winner. Oh.
छोटे से माइंड में बड़ी बड़ी बातें हैं तारों की तरह हम भी जगमगाते हैं नन्ही नन्ही आँखों में बड़ी
So on stage now the kids, the first grand winners are coming on stage.
छोटे से माइंड में बड़ी बड़ी बातें हैं तारों की तरह हम भी जगमगाते हैं नन्ही नन्ही आँखों में बड़े ख्वाब आते हैं तभी तो हम छोटे जीनियस कहलाते हैं हो 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 मून से पूछो सन से क्यों छिप जाते हो क्या हाइड एंड सीक का
The grand first prize winners in alphabetical order.
बोतल में कैसे बड़ा जिन रहे उसके बिग रूम की विश कौन पूरी करे अंधेरी रातों में जुगनू टिमटिमाते हैं
Please a huge round of applause for these young authors.
छोटे से माइंड में बड़ी बड़ी बातें हैं
Ladies and gentlemen, please keep clapping for the young guns.
जगमगाते हैं
Thank you so much.
नन्ही आँखों में बड़े ख्वाब आते हैं तभी तो हम छोटे जीनियस कहलाते हैं छोटे से माइंड में बड़ी बड़ी बातें हैं तारों की तरह हम भी जगमगाते हैं नन्ही नन्ही आँखों में बड़े ख्वाब आते हैं तभी तो हम छोटे जीनियस कहलाते हैं छोटे से माइंड में बड़ी बड़ी बातें हैं तारों की तरह हम भी जगमगाते हैं नन्ही नन्ही आँखों में बड़े ख्वाब आते हैं तभी तो हम छोटे जीनियस कहलाते हैं हो 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 मून से पूछो सन से क्यों छिप जाते हो क्या हाइड एंड सीक का गेम खेलते हो छोटी बोतल में कैसे बड़ा जिन रहे उसके बिग रूम की विश कौन पूरी करे अंधेरी रातों में जुगनू टिमटिमाते हैं क्या ये दिन भर अपनी बैटरी चार्जिंग पे लगाते हैं छोटे से माइंड में बड़ी बड़ी बातें हैं तारों की तरह हम भी जगमगाते हैं नन्ही नन्ही आँखों में बड़े ख्वाब आते हैं तभी तो हम छोटे जीनियस कहलाते हैं छोटे से माइंड में बड़ी बड़ी बातें हैं तारों की तरह हम भी जगमगाते हैं नन्ही नन्ही आँखों में बड़े ख्वाब आते हैं तभी तो हम छोटे जीनियस कहलाते हैं। छोटे से माइंड में बड़ी बड़ी बातें हैं, तारों की तरह हम भी जगमगाते हैं। नन्ही नन्ही आँखों में बड़े ख्वाब आते हैं, तभी तो हम छोटे जीनियस कहलाते हैं। हो 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 मून से पूछो सन से क्यों छिप जाते हो, क्या हाइड एंड सीक का गेम खेलते हो। छोटी बॉटल
I'd also like to invite the Executive Management Committee of Max Life Insurance on stage, as well as Sudeshna Shom Ghosh. Please come on stage. Please join these young authors on stage.
छोटे से माइंड में बड़ी बड़ी बातें हैं, तारों की तरह हम भी जगमगाते हैं। नन्ही नन्ही आँखों में
Mr. Sanchit Mehri and Prashant Tripathi, can we also have you on stage?
जीनियस कहलाते हैं।
Mr. Sanchit Mehri and Prashant Tripathi.
माइंड में बड़ी बड़ी बातें हैं, तारों की तरह हम भी जगमगाते हैं। नन्ही नन्ही आँखों में बड़े ख्वाब आते हैं, तभी तो हम छोटे जीनियस कहलाते हैं। छोटे से माइंड में बड़ी बड़ी बातें हैं, तारों की तरह हम भी जगमगाते हैं। नन्ही नन्ही आँखों में बड़े ख्वाब आते हैं, तभी तो हम छोटे जीनियस कहलाते हैं। हो 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 मुझसे पूछो सन से क्यों छिप जाते हो, हाइड एंड सीक का गेम खेलते हो। छोटी बॉटल में कैसे बड़ा जिन रहे, उसके बिखरों की विश कौन पूरी करे। अंधेरी रातों में जुगनू टिमटिमाते हैं, क्या ये दिन भर अपनी बैटरी चार्जिंग पे लगाते हैं। छोटे से माइंड में बड़ी बड़ी बातें हैं, तारों की तरह हम भी जगमगाते हैं। नन्ही नन्ही आँखों में बड़े ख्वाब आते हैं, तभी तो हम छोटे जीनियस कहलाते हैं। छोटे से माइंड में बड़ी बड़ी बातें हैं, तारों की तरह हम भी जगमगाते हैं। नन्ही नन्ही आँखों में बड़े ख्वाब आते हैं, तभी तो हम छोटे जीनियस कहलाते हैं।
Ladies and gentlemen, one big round of applause for everyone on stage. Thank you so very much. And I would request Mr. Rajat Mehta to please be on the stage. Rest all of you can take your respective seats. Thank you.
आँखों में बड़े ख्वाब आते हैं, तभी तो हम छोटे जीनियस कहलाते हैं। हो 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 मून से पूछो सन से क्यों छिप जाते हो, क्या हाइड एंड सीक का गेम खेलते हो। छोटी बॉटल में कैसे बड़ा जिन रहे, उसके बिखरों की विश।
Can we have Mr. Rajat Mehta, Executive Director and Chief Operating Officer, Max Life Insurance here? He's already here. नहीं सर, आप नहीं थे, इसलिए बुलाया मैंने आपको. So, Mr. Rajat Mehta is right now here on stage to share a very special and unique initiative around this book.
Hello. Yeah. Let the kids settle down. So a warm welcome to our respected jury and all the parents. A special welcome to the kids. What an exciting morning, isn't it? It's so refreshing, rejuvenating, and energizing to be amongst you. You know, we learn from you every day. These days I'm learning a new language from my two sons, who are teenagers. So chillax is a word I learned, right? Wacko. Then I learned a new word called IDK. Have you heard of that? I don't know. TTYL. Absolutely. I also heard 2 days back there's a new P language, is it? Yeah? It's old. Yeah, I'm getting old. So we learn from you every day. And you know, as I read this amazing book, I was struck by 2 things. One is your amazing way in which you're given wing to your creativity, your observation, your imagination. And secondly, I'm quite struck by your purity of thought. The ability that you have to see the good in everybody, including Mr. Donut. The ability you have to express gratitude as in the tutor or in guardian. Really, please keep the spirit going and don't let the child in you die. Don't become like us. Right? So be children throughout your life. There's no reason why this amazing treasure bundle of inspiration and motivation should be kept away from any child across India. So I really salute the person who thought of this idea to release a Braille version of this book. Really a very noble thought, extremely noble thought. And it's my pleasure to release this version. And we have kids from the blind school from Delhi. Yeah, please come over here.
आँखों में बड़े ख्वाब आते हैं तभी तो हम छोटे जीनियस कहलाते हैं हो 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 मून से पूछो सन से क्यों छिप जाते हो क्या हाइड एंड सीक का गेम खेलते हो छोटी बोतल में कैसे बड़ा जिन रहे.
So I'm requesting him to read one of the stories, a short version. So, boliye.
Hunting Acorn at Sanjay Malhotra Laboratories by Manal Jahan, age 12, Bangalore. When Dia reached home from the school, she immediately went to her room. She sat down at a table and started doing physics sums. Finding a sum different, she looked out of the window, trying to work out the answer. The answer is C is equal to MC square. Came a soft squeak. Dia was very surprised. She thought to herself, I have to remember the answer. And she thought that was coming from a little creature. We must be telepathic. We are not very smart.
So thank you. Thank you. Wonderful. Wonderful. So there are two versions since you can't accommodate all the stories in one version. Padhiye aap bhi? Kuch bhi padhiye. Anything that you want to read. Bolo beta, mic mein.
Best stories from best story from Genius. All authors Hunt. Illustrated by Rena.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Aye. So I'm really, pleased to release this, and we have told everybody that as many books required across India, we'll be more than happy to print and send across to all the children in India. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rajat. Thank you so much, children.
Check.
We'd also like to tell you something very interesting. The book has been launched, I, Genius, A Twist in the Tale. You can read the book, but now you can also hear the book. How can you hear the book?
अभी जैसे एक ड्रामा भी हुआ था एक स्टोरी के ऊपर. बहुत अच्छा लगता है जब कहानियां जीवंत होकर सामने आती हैं. और यही एक कोशिश है हमारी 92.7 बिग एफएम पर. हमने 10 कहानियां, we have chosen 10 stories from this book. And Nilesh Misra, who's like very famous and popular storyteller, He'll be reading out and narrating your stories, those 10 stories, over a period of weeks on 92.7 Big FM. So you can tune into the radio, 92.7 Big FM, and hear these 10 stories out of the book.
Absolutely. So tune in to 92.7 Big FM. And if you tune in at 7 a.m., you'll definitely listen Deepak on the air. So tune in. I see someone smiling like she hears Deepak every day. You have a fan, Deepak. Congratulations. I'd now like to call upon Ruskin-born Chetan Bhagat, ma'am, Anita ma'am. Please come on stage. Mr. Rajesh Sood. Kalpesh Mishra sir, please join us on stage. Also, Sudeshna ma'am, could you join us on stage? We'd like to also call second prize winners on stage in two groups.
I just want to tell you the second prize winners is an e-book. The first 50 stories have gone in a published book. The next 50 stories are in an electronic book. And so all of you can actually reach out and read these books. So there are 100 stories. So they're not second prize winners. For us, they're all 100 winners. 50 of them in an electronic form and 50 in a published form.
Kabir sir, please join us on stage. Also the Executive Management Committee of Max Life Insurance, please join us on stage. We'd like a photo op with all these winners. Can we have Vibha Rishi on stage as well? Please join us for a photograph on the stage with the winners.
As the second prize winners gather for this photo op, you can see on the side screens teasers of two of the stories from the paperback. Mission to Kronos, written by Rohit from Pune, and Champ Goes to the Zoo, written by Rishabh from Bangalore. These teasers are here right now. You can also catch them on YouTube. For the full story, however, you'll have to read the book. The second group of kids will join us on stage. Can the first group please kindly?
जगमगाते हैं नन्ही नन्ही आंखों में बड़े ख्वाब आते हैं तभी तो हम छोटे जीनियस कहलाते हैं हो 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 पूछो सन से क्यों छिप जाते हो, क्या हाइड एंड सीक का गेम खेलते हो, छोटी बोतल में कैसे बड़ा जिन रहे, उसके बेडरूम की विश अब कौन पूरी करे, अंधेरी रातों में जुगनू टिमटिमाते हैं, क्या ये दिन भर अपनी बैटरी चार्जिंग पे लगाते हैं, छोटे से माइंड में बड़ी बड़ी बातें हैं, तारों की तरह हम भी जगमगाते हैं, नन्ही नन्ही आँखों में बड़े ख्वाब आते हैं, तभी तो हम छोटे जीनियस कहलाते हैं।
I would request Ms. Nisha Motwani to please stay on stage. Rest, everybody can take their respective seats. Thank you.
छोटे से माइंड में बड़ी बड़ी बातें हैं, तारों की तरह हम भी जगमगाते हैं, नन्ही नन्ही आँखों में बड़े ख्वाब आते हैं, तभी तो हम छोटे जीनियस कहलाते हैं। छोटे से माइंड में बड़ी बड़ी बातें हैं, तारों की तरह हम भी जगमगाते हैं, नन्ही नन्ही आँखों में।
So there's just one more published version of these stories. Our intent was to get these stories read by as many children and as many students as possible across the country. So we did not want to miss out any opportunities. We did a published book, we did an e-book, we did a braille book. The versions of it, we did an audio book. There are some versions available, edited versions available on YouTube as well. And we said, what more can we do so that many more people are able to read it? And we were fortunate to get into a partnership with Times of India. So the Times of India NIE edition, newspapers in education, which goes to more than 3 lakh children across all kinds of schools. For 52 weeks, there would be a story that would get published, and I'm very fortunate to tell you that the first stories already got published today. We have consciously taken a call to publish the e-book stories first because we want as many people to buy these books and read in schools. This is the first story, and we are also making sure that we don't reveal the full story here. There is there is an excerpt here, and then we want people to log in and read the full e-book. So you actually give them a teaser here, and it's exciting enough for them to log on and then, read the whole book and read stories of other children. So for 52 weeks, for the whole year, you will see these stories coming in Times of India. So that was about Young Authors Hunt. It's a culmination of many months of hard work by my team here and by lots of you children here. 50,000, 55,000 children participated, 5,000 good stories, and to actually shortlist 100 out of 5,000, it was quite a task, and I think our jury, we had such a good, strong jury here that I'm sure that they've selected the best. And, this is my boss has already told you that this is an initiative we are going to continue next year. So that's a commitment from Max Life. That's one initiative. But through all our marketing initiative, we have always wanted to do something where we touch human lives and we make a difference. Because life insurance is about making a difference in people's lives. And we said with every initiative that we do, we want to make a difference in people's life. Even if it is 100 children from here who celebrate, it's these 100 children who can actually have a multiplier effect when they grow up and when they become big people in their own spheres. So that's the attempt. And the original iGenius program started, for some of you who participated for the first time, the original iGenius program started 4 years back. In 2010 is when we launched this. How many people have participated in the scholarship program of iGenius from here? Oh, so there are quite a few. So that's exactly why, we said that the whole journey of discovering talent in children started in 2010 through a scholarship program. And I'm happy to announce that despite the fact we've, this year done an additional activity of finding junior authors, we are going to continue with the scholarship program, going by the, the mass scale participation that we've had so far. There are some mind-blowing statistics here. This program we've got more than 2 million children who have actually participated from something like 700 cities. So from a small town to a big town, 700 cities of India, 8.4 lakh children have actually participated in the iGenius scholarship program to date. And as an organization, we've given away prizes worth 4 crores. More than 5,000 children have actually financially benefited from the scholarship money that they have earned. And, it's not the amount, of course the amount is significant, but it's, it's the feeling of being a winner, being an achiever and being a genius is what, is the true worth and value of this program. So we are going to continue with the scholarship. As we close Junior Authors Hunt for this year, we announce our new program, which is the 4th edition of Max Life iGenius Scholarship. So registrations are open now. We have really worked hard to time it with this so that we can launch it with all of you people here with us, where you will go and speak to a whole lot of your friends in school, in classes, and encourage everybody to participate. Today, the online medium allows you to log in as soon as you get out. Even tonight, you can log in and register for the exams. And for this particular program, scholarship program, besides, of course, Mr. Bond here, who's been with us for 4 years, the quiz master, Derek O'Brien, is a partner, has been a partner for 4 years. He was supposed to have been here. Unfortunately, the Lokpal bill is being tabled in the parliament today, and he is just regretted. So he was otherwise, going to be here to launch this scholarship program for us. He's been our partner with us, with Mr. Bond, for 3 years now. So this program is now open. We will have, the stage 1 is to go register, take an exam. The stage 2 is we will have panel discussions and the jury actually doing a shortlisting of the talent. Because when it comes to physical talent like sports, performances and all, exam is just only so much that you can get, you can gauge a person's talent. So it's important to have a physical round and a face-to-face round. We have actually created this interesting format of video interviews across the country, where we tie up and the jury actually judges talent on the basis of physically what they see and how they interact with children. So it's a very robust process. We are going to continue with that process, and the grand finale will be in Delhi, at the end of a couple of months. We are making sure that we time it in such a way that the children are able to participate before the real exams in March and April start. Because we've realized over past few years that when it comes to March and April, the children's priorities change, and parents, of course, want them to focus on that. So this is in December, you've got January, you've got February. Please take the exams, and please make sure that as many people talk about this and participate in this. There are going to be almost 1,000 prizes to be won again, scholarships to be won again. And the biggest scholarship is of ₹1 lakh, which is a large amount. And of course, there are many, many small prizes to be won. So please make sure that we have maximum participation on this. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anisha. I would still request you to please be on the stage for a while. And one last time, I would request Mr. Rajesh Sood, Mr. Chetan Bhagat, Mr. Ruskin Bond, and Mr. Kapish Mehra to please come on stage. Thank you.
छोटे से माइंड में बड़ी बड़ी बातें हैं, तारों की तरह हम भी जगमगाते हैं, नन्ही नन्ही आँखों में बड़े ख्वाब आते हैं, तभी तो हम छोटे जीनियस कहलाते हैं.
Now I would request our friends from media to share any thoughts or ask any questions that they have today from our esteemed guests.
Yeah, just one question. Yeah, is there any plan to translate into regional languages or Hindi?
The book, yes, we are looking at that. We recognize that readership could go up. We haven't really made a decision on that as yet. We are waiting for the first responses to come through of this book. But our intention, of course, is to encourage children right across the country. You saw the Braille edition just for that reason. So yes, we will look at that. And it is possible maybe that we'll come up with those versions first in the offline mode and then look at the online mode as well.
Good afternoon. I am Hanan from Education World, sir. Do you have any planning to do market school to school?
So when we do the iGenius contest that we just announced in front of you or any of these initiatives, we do use a fair bit of activation. We kind of reach out to schools so that they can actually encourage participation. But that's about the extent of marketing, if you call it that. I wouldn't really strictly term it as marketing. It's more encouragement to participate and let kids know that there is some opportunity like this that's possible. So that's what we do. And a lot of this is actually based on referencing word of mouth, parents talking to each other and so on and so forth. So that's how it goes.
Thank you.
Hi. It's very encouraging to find, to see that a conglomerate like yours is doing something for children. I was wondering if there are any plans to do something in terms of sports for children?
Yes, we have. And actually, when I mentioned to you earlier that the concept of iGenius as we think of it is not restricted to any one sphere. It actually transcends all kind of talents and ambitions that kids today have. Sports certainly is the first and foremost amongst them. We have used that in the past to promote certain sports, but we are looking at how we can get more organized about it. So yes, we are looking at all of those. So those of you who participate in our scholarship hunts, you'll find that many people actually come across with sports certificates. They actually are national level swimmers or sometimes just great budding talent. So all of that is also part of what we recognize as genius when we finally give out the scholarships.
Excuse me, Mr. Sood. Do you have any planning for the rural areas? Because till date, India lives in rural areas.
That certainly is something that our heart beats for. I must share this with you in the question you've asked. Roughly about 20% plus of our business that we do is done in rural India as well. So we do recognize the needs of the rural consumer to be absolutely the same as one of our urban consumers. We have a large network of distribution through which we reach out to over 1,000 towns in the country. So we are truly national in our footprint. We do believe rural is an integral part of what we do. And there are other specific initiatives that we do launch on the business side to make sure that we provide them the same financial security that I think all of us are so desirous of. As regards this particular program, there is never a restriction from our side. But you're right, the means and ways to get across to the rural consumer or the rural parents, let's say, from our side are currently limited. It is a little bit more town-centric at this point in time. But we would love to kind of partner with you and your ideas as to how we could take it further. And that's perhaps what I was referring to earlier when I mentioned that if each one of us choose, and we have an offer for all the parents who are here, the Braille edition of the book, if you would like to go to your town and offer that edition to, the blind schools in your town, we'll be more than happy to supply you copies for it. Okay, so join us in this initiative, take it forward. So it's exactly stuff like this that I would say. Similarly, if you come from towns and rural places where you think you can reach out our message better and we can collaborate together, feel free to reach us out. You know us pretty much through our IDs and so on and so forth. We'll be more than happy to kind of share this further.
This is for Mr. Bhagat. Hi.
Hi.
You've had a great run in your literary career. I was wondering what led you to collaborate on a collection of children's writing? Does children's writing excite you in certain ways?
Yeah, I think a lot of people were saying that why don't you use to promote writing in some way, and I was looking for the right opportunity, the right platform. I am not a publisher, so obviously I cannot publish books, but for the right platform, lending my name would have been a good idea. Max, they had run a very successful iGenius program, and they came up with this author hunt, which really was one of a kind. And I think the prize, more than the prize, it's the fact that you'll actually be published in a book an e-book or normal book, which is both quite common today, was incredibly exciting to me. And I have kids now, like I said, young boys who read a lot. And I think at some day, not in the immediate future, but I would like to attempt something for children. But I find it incredibly hard to write for children because, they have a certain kind of taste which I have not really understood fully, or maybe I can't write as well as that. But I thought just a chance to promote that would be a good, it just extends, I can only write so much. But if I lend my name to something like this, it helps more youngsters write and hopefully read also, and eventually read my books too. But it's good. So we just have to, I think the writing community has to realize that we have to promote writing and reading. Our competition is not other writers. Our competition is actually apps and Twitter and Facebook and all these other things that are there now. So these kind of initiatives must be encouraged by the media, by other things, because it's something good. And if this goes away, we won't have kids who are that good in personality. If they only play video games and do apps, you only say he's a well-read person. You never say he's a well-TV watched person or he's a well-video gamed person. And there's a reason for that. And I think that's why I want to emphasize to all you guys don't need convincing, but to tell all others that reading is important, and writing too.
Hi, this question is for both the writers, Sir Ruskin Bond and Mr. Chetan Bhagat. How easy or how difficult was shortlisting the stories? I mean, out of 5,000, you guys got to 100, 50 first and, the other 50. So how was the process?
For me, it was very easy. Since the shortlisted stories came to me. All the hard work, I have to say, was done by Sudeshna Shom Ghosh and her team at Rupa, who had to sift through all those thousands of stories that came in. So it was really the best of the best that came my way, and I think Chetan's way too. And I'm sort of really amazed at the amount of talent there is around, and so many young writers. And as Chetan was saying just now, what we really need are thousands of readers, because otherwise, who are we writing for? Just ourselves. So it's the reading habit that we really have to encourage, apart from the encouragement that we give to young authors.
Yeah, no, he's right. We were lucky, and but we did, and it's the most stringent judging I have done. I mean, normally they put celebrity judges, and they just kind of. I've done Miss India judging also. Yeah, just for sake of my country, swimsuit round and everything. I have, but that was much easier. Actually, it was quite hard, but then what they tell is they shortlist down to 18 there, and then I don't know how, that's a different story. But here, they were actually, Pooja set us up in the Reliance Center, and for 3 days, Mr. Bond and I were interviewing kids along with the editorial team. And I must tell you, these are like senior editors from Rupa, me. It's just, you just don't have things like this anywhere. I mean, even published writers, they don't get such kind of a discussion about their stories and things like that. And I must say, we were very impressed. At the same time, I would tell the winners, don't think your stories are perfect or anything. Huh? There's a lot of work. No, seriously, I'm telling you, you can improve a lot. Don't get all smug. But there's no doubt that amongst the thousands, I think 5,000, these are the top 100, and I think that's incredible. It was hard for me to judge also because every kid who walked in, Mr. Bond, Mr. Bond, Mr. Bond, and so between that we had to judge them. When they calmed down from that excitement of meeting Mr. Bond, and then we would interview them.
And as a footnote to that, I have to thank Chetan because he's offered to put me on the jury for the next Miss India contest that he gets involved in.
Only for the country.
So I must congratulate you for conducting this very successful event and done in a very professional way. But I have a question, like we have 100 odd winners over here. Is there a way you can keep them connected? See, it's very important. This is a talent, and if they can get further platform and keep, these talent connected, and they can groom themselves further rather than just leaving them here and getting another round of, another scholarship round or another young hunt talent round.
That's a great idea. Well, I guess kids, I don't know what your personal preferences on them being on the net are. As a parent, I'm always wary of, Facebook and other things that they get into. But we do have a Facebook community of hygienists, which I think you as parents could log into for sure. And to that, we could make sure that we actually use the digital media. That's the best way of remaining connected. Any physical form obviously has its challenges. But we are with you. We are trying to create this community, as we shared with you earlier. It's a growing community. So certainly we'd invite you to be a part of it. And under your guidance, I'm sure the kids can also, work with each other. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
This question is for Mr. Bhagat. Sir, what were the parameters while you were selecting these little authors? Like what parameters you had in your mind?
Well, you'll get the details, of course, on that. But broadly speaking, when we came in, we had two categories, senior and junior. They would give us the story. We had to read the story. And for me, I mean, very broadly, it has to just engage you and be interesting. And it's the story itself, which is the plot, and then the imagination of the child, and a little bit the language and ability to express. So, unlike maths or physics, it's not like you get 95 out of 100 or things like that. And that's why there is no first prize, second prize like that. It's like a 50 stories here, 50 there, because it's very unfair. You can't really rank them to that degree. But the ones we made a cluster of stories we really liked, and the stories we were not sure of, and then there was not. So like that we did it. But it was mainly about, we had 3-4 people reading it, and we pretty much had a unanimous view. A few times we may have felt that no, this deserves and this not. But when you read a good story, you've read a good story. So it was more like that. It's a subjective, but that's why the panel is important.
And it was fun meeting the contestants, the story writers, and it will be also interesting to watch their progress, your progress, over the years to come.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm Aksa from Economic Times. I wanted to ask you, will the young authors get any royalties from the book sales?
That's a good question. And coming from the Economic Times, the perfect... she's interested in one thing. Okay, all that is fine, encouraging. What is happening? Where is this distribution? Rish? Publisher is here.
I think there is a royalty arrangement, but I think I'd like Max to sort of comment on that. But beyond royalty, I think beyond royalty, I think the publishing of the book itself is a major achievement. So maybe we should focus on that a bit more.
Certainly. On a more serious note, we have pledged to actually donate all the proceeds that come from the sales to charity. So you can well believe us, if we do this, we will certainly do that. So surely encourage your kids to read and write.
Yeah. In any case, it's going to be divided by 50. Okay.
So if there are no further questions, thank you very much for being a part of this. We would again request you to join us for lunch. And to all the kids, well done again. We are very proud of you. Keep writing and keep smiling. Thank you very much.
छोटे जीनियस कहलाते हैं छोटे से
Before we break for lunch, I have a few things to say. Please.
छोटे जीनियस कहलाते हैं हो 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 मून से पूछो सन से क्यों छिप जाते हो, क्या हाइड एंड सीक का गेम खेलते हो.
Can I just have Amit and Pooja up on stage, please? I just want you to meet the two people who have, been working on this for last almost 1 year, from ideation to execution. I think it's flawless. That's Pooja. And that's Amit Sharma. And they are the brains and they are the legs, hands, effort, emotion, all of it behind iGenius. So I think you owe them a big round of applause.
Also, we've got Kripi Badonia here. She's a group leader of Virangna, which is a student organization working towards women empowerment, and she has a message for all the kids, or everyone here.
Hello one and all. I'm Kripi Badonia and I'm the second prize winner of the iGenius Young Authors Hunt. I am the group leader of the student organization called Virangna. Virangna is basically this organization that is working towards women empowerment. We're conducting a lot of activities like free of cost self-defense classes. We're making our own pepper spray and selling them at nominal rates against the market prices as well. We're conducting a lot of workshops in schools, colleges, and we're doing street plays. We're going to marketplaces, spreading the message. Like just yesterday, we had performed a street play in the Constitution Club of India, which had eminent speakers like Arun Jaitley, Shashi Tharoor, Ms. Sheila Dikshit. In fact, Mr. Chetan Bhagat was also present there. And I would just like all of you to support the cause. If you think we can come to your company or your residential sector to conduct these free of cost self-defense classes, I'll be distributing my flyers during the lunch break. You're most welcome to contact me during that time. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And just a few more announcements. Please proceed for lunch, which is in the gardens outside. But before that, I'd like to tell you, all the grand first prize winners can collect their book and Kindle ebook readers from the registration desk after lunch. Yaad rahega? Don't forget. Yay! Yes. And all the ebook winners can collect their copy of ebook and copy of their first exclusive ebook story printed in today's TOI from the registration desk after lunch. Wo bhi mat bhulna. Yaad rahega? Yay? We'd also like to tell you that we want to record some of your experience of your journey with iGenius Young Authors Hunt. So please post lunch, we request all the parents and winners to be present. Don't go home yet. We're not done with you yet. We've got lots to do. And in case you want to buy more copies of iGenius, A Twist in the Tale, you can buy them from the Rupa publication counter at the registration desk. And children, last but not the least, don't worry. Rajesh Sood, Chetan Bhagat and Mr. Ruskin Bond will be joining you for lunch very soon, so keep your questions ready. Thank you all very much. Thank you for being a part of this. I'm RJ Vidhi, that's RJ Deepak from 92.7 Big FM. Thank you.
छोटे से माइंड में बड़ी बड़ी बातें हैं, तारों की तरह हम भी जगमगाते हैं, नन्ही नन्ही आँखों में बड़े ख्वाब आते हैं, तभी तो हम छोटे जीनियस कहलाते हैं.